Before we start this video, I'd like to apologize for a couple things. One, for closing my door because I forgot to close it before the video started. And second of all, I apologize if you hear any background noise like barking and stuff. That is my dogs and my neighbor's dogs, so I hope this doesn't bother you guys. But anyway, hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post Tuesday through Sunday, and today in this video, excuse me one second. I apologize, I forgot a piece of paper that I'm taking notes on for a project I'm working on, so I needed to go grab that. So anyway, today in this video, I'm going to talk about my top 10 underrated TV shows for kids. I thought this would be a fun video to do because I was checking my YouTube and I realized I never made a video of my top 10 TV shows I feel like are underrated. So these are TV shows that were on like in the early 2000s, the 90s. I'm sure if you guys grew up in my time, you might know these TV shows. So I'm going to go over each one that I remember and I'm going to get started. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. And if you're familiar with any of these TV shows, please let me know. And let me know what you think of them. So if you like grew up in my era and you're familiar with TV shows, just let me know which ones you like. And I'm going to get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So number one on my list would have to be Hamtaro. So I feel like Hamtaro is a really underrated TV show because, like, there's not a lot of people that like it, and, well, not a lot of people that really talk about it. A lot of people my age don't even know what this TV show is. Like, when it first came out, nobody knew what it was. And some people that knew what it was were not big fans of it and stuff. So I feel like this show is really underrated because it is actually kind of an educational TV show because there's a lot of vocabulary in it. And it does teach some vocabulary word. They do say some big words, which is cool. And it does teach you it does kind of teach you some vocabulary. So it's kind of a show for kids that's a little bit educational just because there's just a lot of vocabulary in it, and it is a great TV show. It's super cute, super fun, and it's one of my favorite TV shows. Number two on my list had to be Clarissa Explains It All. So I'm going to be honest, I've only seen a few episodes. I don't even remember half the episodes of this show that I saw, but I know this is underrated because after it was canceled, nobody even talked about it anymore, and it was a pretty good show from a couple episodes I've seen. I've seen quite a few. I didn't like watch it all the way through, but I really enjoyed it because I thought it was pretty funny, and I like Melissa Joan Hart in that show, and I really think it's just a pretty great TV show of Clarissa talking about things and explaining stories and stuff, and I really like that show. Number three on my list would be Sabrina the Animated Series. Now, I'm going to be honest, this show was actually on Toon Disney, and I wasn't a big fan of Toon Disney growing up. But I did think it was quite an interesting show from watching it and watching the clips of it. And it was pretty funny. I love how they made it more for kids than the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch was because, like I said, it's an animated cartoon. And I just think it's a okay show. It's just not my favorite, but I personally like it because I love how they made it for kids. Number four on my list would have to be Chalk Zone. So I'm sure if you guys grew up in the 90s, you probably remember the TV show Chalk Zone. And if you've been in my age and stuff, like it was popular early 2000s. Like I think it came on in 2003 and I was in 4th grade at the time when it came out. And I really enjoy it. I just really enjoy this show because I love how it shows this kid's creativity with chalk and how he draws all the time. And I love how anything that goes on the chalkboard goes into the chalk world. And I think that's super cool how this kid can get himself transferred into the chalk world. And I love how he's kind of an artist and is very creative. And I really enjoy seeing creativity, especially when it comes to things like art, knitting, crocheting, like any type of hobby in general. I think it's super cool. And I think it stinks that a lot of people don't talk about this show because not a lot of people are familiar with it because it is such a great show. Number five on my list would have to be My Life as a Teenage Robot. So I feel like My Life as a Teenage Robot is pretty underrated. I mean, this is also a pretty good show because it shows a female being really strong and independent. And I love how it shows her beating up all the bad guys, and I think that's super cool. And I love how this robot wants to lead a normal life as a teenager like everyone else. Nels, despite the fact she's used for saving the world and stuff. And I just love her personality, her curiosity for things that teenagers do. And I really enjoy this show. And it's really good. Number 6 on my list would have to be Freakazoid. So I'm sure if you grew up in the 90s, you probably remember the show Freakazoid. It's a pretty silly, like, superhero TV show, and it's really enjoyable. And I love the characters. I love how silly Freakazoid is, especially when he is focused on saving the world and stuff. And I really, really like this show because it kind of makes fun of like superheroes. And I feel bad that this is underrated. Like I said, this was a popular show when I was growing up, but nobody really watched it. I think nobody talked about it anymore after the show got, I was about to say discontinued, but I meant to say canceled. Don't know where that came from. But anyway, so it just was a really good show. It was pretty funny, silly, and it was just like making fun of superheroes. Well, looking at it now, I realize they were making fun of superheroes in the TV show. And please ignore my dog's barking. Number 7 on my list would have to be Rocko's Modern Life. So I bet a lot of you guys, if you grew up in my time, you probably are familiar with Rocko's Modern Life. And it's a really good show. It's pretty funny. It's about like a wallaby learning to lead a normal life after while being an animal. And I really like this show because I think it's pretty funny and silly, and it's got a lot of like great humor in it. And I personally love the TV show. I love the character and his friends, and I just think it's just a really, really funny show in general, despite the fact the silly weirdness they have to go through. Number 9 on my list would have to be Code Lyoko. So I'm sure if you guys grew up, like I said, if you guys grew up in my time, like early 2000s, you probably know the show. It was on in like 2005, around 2006. It was a pretty good show. It was one of those like adventure kind of like action TV shows, and it was pretty cool because it involved characters going from a real world into a virtual world into a computer, and they go to try to stop this virus and stuff that causes problems with people's technology. And I think it's such a really cool kind of like adventure action show, which is awesome. Number 10 on my list would have to be Martin Mystery. So Martin Mystery is from the same creator that did the show Totally Spies. I'm sure you guys all remember that show. I don't remember what cartoon company actually did this show, but I know it was released in Nickelodeon. And I really like this show because it involves this kind of like university student and his stepsister, and they drag along like their friend who happens to be a caveman or something, and they take him on their adventures, and they try to stop these creepy, weird aliens, and they have to go through a lot of like adventure and stuff, and look at the backstory of the aliens, which is pretty cool. Okay, so those are my top 10 underrated TV shows for kids. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post Tuesday through Sunday, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!